Warning: the following podcast, which contains strong language and mature content, is unsuitable for children or for the faint of heart. The subject matter discussed will be frightening and graphic in nature. Listener discretion is advised.
Three spooked girls. Three spooked girls. When you wanna hear about the paranormal, you get the spooked girls. True crime that makes you hypothermal. With the three spooked girls, stabby snippets will give you dreams. Tara and Jessica will make you scream along with the spooked girls. Bring on the slaughter, we on that haunted ground. Spooked girls. The three spooked
Hey Spooksters, and welcome back to another episode here on Three Spooked Girls. My name is Tara, and as always, I'm here with my ghoul friend Jessica.
Hello.
Hello. And today we are bringing you another State Urban Legends episode. As you guys can see by the title, we are headed to Wisconsin. But before we dive in, we want to say, if you are new here, hello, welcome. Thank you for checking out the show. Returning Spooksters, welcome back. If you are not hanging out with us on social media, you can find us on all the places. We are at Three Spooked Girls. We're on Facebook, Threads, Instagram, everywhere. Most platforms. And if you like Facebook groups like we do, we want to suggest you come and join ours. That is Three Spooked Girls Official. We post our episode discussion threads in there. People share cool memes, share cases with us, and just all kinds of fun stuff that just makes our spooky little hearts happy. And if you are a reader, you can join our book club. It is Spookster Literary Society. We are coming up on having our meeting for January. It will be this coming weekend if you're listening to this on publish day or Friday after. We read this month Hemlock and Silver. It's a retelling of Snow White. Retelling was our theme for this month. And on the back end, in real time, we chose our book for February, which will be announced on the 1st. And just a little sneak peek for you guys, our theme is Feminine Rage. So if you're interested in that and you want to come hang out with us and other book club members on Discord once a month, we meet for 30 minutes on the last Sunday. The only time that kind of fluctuates is if there's like a holiday or something like that. But pretty much most of the year, we are meeting up the last Sunday of the month. And if you would like to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/Three Spooked Girls. For as little as $1, you get one bonus episode a month. 5 and up get ad-free episodes released the day before. And most tiers, you get all of our backlog of bonus content. If you join our $1 tier, you get our bonus episodes for the past almost 7 or so years that we've been on Patreon. And 5 and up, you get all kinds of extra content that we did during COVID time. There's video content, there's bonus episodes on top of the all-tier episodes, all kinds of fun stuff. So definitely check it out. But with that, we're going to go ahead and get to it. I am so excited because Wisconsin has a lot of spooky, weird things. So in my roundup for today, we've got some like cryptid stuff. We've got some ghosties, and we've, of course, because I feel like we can't do an episode of one of these without some haunted bridges. So we have an array today. So I'm really excited.
Ooh, I love a haunted bridge.
Right? So good. So our first one is one of my favorite little cryptids. It is the Rhinelander hodag. I just love it. The legend has it that a Wisconsin man caught one of these creatures back in the 1890s, and more of them roam around Rhinelander. The hodag is a tortured beast, so sad, apparently is aware that he is ugly, and spends lots of time crying about it.
No, not the hodag.
Right? And if a hodag is coming after you, be aware that only 3 things will apparently kill it: chloroform, dynamite, and lemons. I'm thinking maybe it's anaphylactic to lemons. That would be my guess. I don't know.
And I mean, dynamite kills most things.
Mm-hmm.
The array of this. Oh, I don't even know. I'm like,
You have options.
one, you have so many options.
Yeah.
This is like a video game character where you're like, I have to go find something to kill it. And I wonder how many lemons it would take.
Right. Pick up the inventory.
Yeah, like how long it would take, like how many lemons it does take to kill one.
Just take a whole bag of lemons and just like throw them in its mouth, I guess.
Right? Like Donkey Kong them with lemons.
Oh my God. So if you're curious on what the hodag looks like, it's described as resembling a large bull-horned carnivore with a row of thick curved spines down its back. The hodag was said to be born from the ashes of cremated oxen as an incarnation of the accumulation of abuse that animals have suffered at the hands of their masters.
Oh.
Right? The history of the hodag is strongly tied to Rhinelander, Wisconsin, where it was claimed to have been discovered. And this has been prominently in the early Paul Bunyan stories too. So, in 1893, newspapers reported the discovery of a hodag. The article claimed that the hodag had, quote, the head of a frog, the grinning face of a giant elephant, thick, short legs set off by huge claws, the back of a dinosaur, and a long tail with spears at the end. These reports were instigated by a well-known Wisconsin land surveyor, timber cruiser, and prankster.
I love that.
Eugene Shepard, who rounded up a group of local people to capture the animal. The group reported that they needed to use dynamite to kill the beast. So that's where our dynamite comes in. A photograph of the remains of the charred beast was released to the media. It was, quote, the fiercest, strangest, most frightening monster ever to set sharp claws on the earth. It became extinct after its main food source, I'm sorry, dog lovers, all white bulldogs, became scarce in the area, end quote.
Wait, so it only eats one type of dog?
Just all white bulldogs. Different colors, you're fine.
Super problematic. It's super problematic because it's like, how many all white bulldogs were there?
I have no idea. Shepard claimed to have captured another hodag in 1896, and this one was captured alive. According to his reports, he and several bear wrestlers placed chloroform on the end of a long pole, which they worked into the cave of the creature where it was overcome. He displayed this hodag at the first Oneida County Fair. Thousands of people came to see the hodag at the fair or at Shepard's display in a shanty at his house. Having connected wires to it, Shepard would occasionally move the creature, which would typically send the already skittish viewers fleeing in the display. I'm like, he's just trolling people.
He so is.
And fun fact, the hodag became the official symbol of Rhinelander, Wisconsin. It's the mascot of the local high school. And it lends its name to several businesses and organizations, including the annual music festival, Hodag County Festival. And on the website of this city, it says it is the home of the hodag. And I love that so much. And guess what? They have a fiberglass sculpture of it, which was created by Tracy Goberville, who was like a local artist, and it resides on the ground of the Rhinelander Area Chamber of Commerce. So I love this. It's like Mothman. It has its own statue.
I looked up the statue and it is super adorable.
And on top of that, Rhinelander Ice Arena houses two hodags. They're described as one, a full-body creature just inside the entrance, and the other one is an oversized head that blows smoke and has red eyes that light up.
Stop. I love that.
Right? I love when a town has these weird things and just fully leans into it, because this is like the town where the Mothman statue is. So it's one of my faves. Makes me sad that he thought he was ugly.
Oh no, he's super adorable. In fact, there's this really cute picture of the statue with someone dressed as the mascot of the hodag, and they're like together, and it's like, I'm like, they're adorable. I mean, granted, I would be, if this was real, I'd be fucking terrified.
The character version is cute.
Yeah, it's super adorable. I want a hodag shirt. Oh my god, there's a book. It's called the Happy Hodag book.
Uh-huh.
Stop it.
I know. There's so much stuff. I love it so much. Well, our next one's a little different. This one is called the Antigo Alien Encounter. We don't really do much alien stuff, so I thought this was interesting. So this story goes, in 1974, there were numerous supposed sightings of UFOs in Antigo. It's still not totally clear what happened, but one woman apparently interacted with an alien, and she's referred to as Mrs. H. And Mrs. H owned a bar and a restaurant. And according to the story, she was shocked when a funny-looking little man walked into the joint and started talking in very quick English about Medford and the whole world lighting up and left in a flash. And late one night, she got up to use the bathroom. While walking down the hall, she noticed a strange light through the window. Looking closer, she saw the light was hovering in the forest behind her house. The light crept closer. As it neared the window, she saw a light came up from a craft about the size of a small house. Described as being overcome with confusion, she ran to lock the door, but before she got there, the lights began to flash. She felt like she was, quote, too late because they were already here. According to her, her door swung open on its own and a fog rolled in through the entryway. Through the fog, she saw a hand reach out to grab her and everything went dark. The next thing she knew, she was in her bathroom watching the strange light moving away back into the woods. The next day, the couple found a burn mark in the backyard. After undergoing hypnosis, she recalled she was taken by aliens. According to sources, her story could not be confirmed.
Oh, no. Couldn't be confirmed. Oh, no.
Right. Now, moving along, our last creature for the episode is their own abominable snowman.
Stop it. Wisconsin has everything.
They do. So, in 1998, two teenagers were walking along when they heard a terrifying scream. When they realized a strange bipedal creature was in pursuit, they began running as quickly as they could to their car. Apparently, one of the boys' mothers corroborated the report and said she heard a very odd sound, saying it sounded like a train was coming by. But before the 90s, there's another report that a group of hunters also saw this creature, and they said that they originally saw him on the left side of the line that they were passing through an open grassy field located within a marsh. As they walked through the tall grass, one of the men noticed what appeared to be a large animal covered with black hair standing upright about 100 feet away. What was most surprising to them was that the tall grass was only reaching up to his upper thighs, but when humans would stand by it, it would come up to their stomach or about their waist. Confused as to what they were seeing, the hunter signaled the line to a halt and watched as the creature moved silently back and forth, almost as if it was looking for the best path to leave on. While the creature searched for an escape, the line was motioned to slowly move in and circle it. Yes, because that's what we do to something we have no idea what it is. But whenever the men started moving closer, the creature slowly moved in the opposite direction. Whenever the men stopped, the creature stopped, so it was basically mirroring them. As the group slowly tightened their line and began to circle it, the creature bolted into the thick shrubbery. This was all done within the view of other members of the hunting group before completely disappearing out of view. The group was made up of 11 men, and they attempted to follow it, but they were unable to move as quickly or efficiently through the thick foliage as the creature did. What they were able to do, though, was get a good look at it. As the creature passed by them, the hunters were able to get a decent view of its overall appearance. Each man later stated that the creature was extremely large, about 8 feet tall, which 8 feet would make sense with the grass comparison that we just talked about. And they described it as looking like a very strong man that was covered in black-brown hair. The head seemed to be somewhat small for the body, poor guy, and looked as if it possessed no neck. So tiny head and no neck.
No.
Poor abominable snowman.
Poor dude.
They did make note, though, that sections of the face and the palms were completely hairless, and because of this, they could see a blackish-gray skin tone. The shoulders were described as being very broad, and the arms much longer and hung down significantly farther than that of a man. The creature carried itself like a human, but swung its arms like an ape as it walked. It also appeared to jump a bit as it ran out of view. So I love that. And this story was so fascinating that it brought Ivan T. Sanderson, who's described as a biologist, cryptozoologist, writer, and researcher, and Dr. Bernard Heuvelmans, I think that's how you say his last name, who is a zoologist, cryptozoologist, writer, and researcher, to Wisconsin to interview the 12 men for the 1969 April issue of A Grossi magazine. So, people were all about it. I'm just like, why are y'all gonna scare him off like that? Of course he's gonna leap away because there's 12 of you. And there's only one of him.
Right? He's outgunned.
He's like, bro, I'm just trying to go for a stroll and you're ruining it, but it's fine. Now we're gonna move on to our ghosties. So our first one is called Boy Scout Lane. Up in Stevens Point, there's an isolated road. The story goes that in the 1950s or 60s, a group of Boy Scouts is killed. Like most urban legends, there are a few versions of this story. So one goes that the troop leader killed all of the children. In others, it's that it was their bus drivers. And then in another one, it says that a small group of scouts leave their camp during the night and accidentally drop their lantern, resulting in a forest fire that killed the entire troop. And then there's also a version of it where they just vanish and there's literally no explanation and they're never found. In some versions as well, 2 of the Boy Scouts escape and they try to find help, but only to become lost in the woods where they die of starvation and exposure. In most variations of the legends, it's said that the dead scouts haunt the forest where they died and can be heard hiking through the undergrowth, or their lights can be seen at night as they seek help of their fellow scouts. People who have visited here have made reports of a strong sense of foreboding or being watched, the sounds of footsteps or breaking branches coming from multiple directions, red or white lights, sometimes described as swinging lanterns or flashlight beams. Others have even said they have seen ghostly buses or figures. And sometimes if you're driving through this area and you've stopped, or maybe even if you don't stop, because sometimes it doesn't matter, they end up with childlike handprints on their cars.
Ugh.
That is fucking scary.
Right? I don't know. Thank you.
Now, we have another haunted road. Our next one is called Phantom Man on Highway 12. This story goes, the town of Baraboo, northwest of Madison near the Wisconsin Dells, is known for the Devil's Lake State Park, and it's connected to the Ringling Brothers. Trips to Baraboo are generally full of fun and shenanigans, but while driving through this small town, some people have reported seeing a hitchhiker in a tattered Green Army jacket. When people pass him and look in their rear mirrors, the man is gone. No one has actually picked this man up, but he remains on the side of the road waiting for a ride. Drivers notice him because it seems so unsafe for a person to be walking at night. They all have reported that they keep driving, and a mile or 2 down the road, they see the same figure again, dressed exactly the same, waiting. So he just keeps popping up. Literally.
He's like, come back for me.
Wait, are you sure you don't want to give me a ride? What about now?
I'll come find you.
And now.
Just wanting to check in one more time to see. I need a ride. Please pick me up. Sorry.
Oh my God. No, it's fine. And oh my God, it's so funny because like I saw this movie trailer. I can't remember what the movie's called. And actually it looked really scary. If anyone knows what it is, you can comment or let me know. So basically, like, it's these 2 dudes driving, and it's kind of like the same thing. Like, they see this creepy hitchhiker guy, and they're like, oh, what the fuck? And then they just keep going, and then he pops up again. And then, like, something happens, and there's, like, this crash, and then one of the guys gets, like, ripped out of the car.
No.
It's, like, a whole thing, but it just made me think of that. So I was like, oh, God. But I can't remember what it's called.
Movies like that freak me out.
Yeah. I was like, I want to see this, but I'm also scared. Okay. Our next one is called Molly's Rock, near, you guessed it, Rhinelander in Sugar Camp, Wisconsin. The rock once stood on the corner of Hunter Haven and Pine Lake roads. It is said that Molly didn't want others climbing on her rock, and one day the words, "Keep off Molly's Rock," appeared on its face in red paint. Throughout the years, if the letters were ever tampered with, they would reappear on the rock overnight. Eventually, Molly passed away, but that didn't stop her from visiting her rock. Somebody said, quote, after she died, many residents stated her ghost haunted the rock to protect it, and her spirit could be seen at times as a bright glow that floated above it, usually in the early morning hours or late afternoon, and sometimes during a full moon. It became a driving marker for locals and also turned into the site of teen pilgrimages to the rock to test its theory about the ghosts. See, here's what I find interesting, because I also found that they did actually figure out who Molly Sazek was, and she was a real person. They said she was originally from Berwyn, Illinois, and a rock collector, and she was married to a guy named Joe, and Joe traveled frequently for his job with Sinclair Gas Company, and he would often bring her mineral specimens home because she loved rocks. And one day, around 1934, it was said that he returned home from a trip in Wisconsin's North Woods with a rock so special and so large that he couldn't bring it home to her, hence Molly's Rock. And he said that Molly would have to go with him to see it for herself. And then it was also said that they soon bought a cabin near this area and they would vacation there for years, going back to her said rock because she loved it so much. But people say even today you can still sense her presence, even if you just stand where the rock once was. Molly's spirit was said to have guarded it for decades. Eventually, though, it seemed Molly could no longer protect it, sadly. Eventually, in more recent years, it had several reports of vandalism. It was graffitied, and it was eventually deemed a road hazard and destroyed in 2006. But people say that remnants of it can still be found on the corner of the road where it once stood. I'm like, y'all couldn't just leave it. You couldn't put the road around it.
Apparently not.
Apparently not. All right, now to wrap up our episode, I have our 2 bridges. So our first one is Bloody Bride Bridge. Described as tucked away in the Stevens Point area near Jordan Park, the bridge carries County Highway 66, aka Polish Heritage Highway. The story is that a couple on their way to their wedding got into a terrible car accident and killed the bride, but she continues to haunt the surrounding region, sitting in the backs of cars, visible to drivers only in the rear mirror. They say that years later, a police officer hit a woman on the road here and went back to help her. When he ran back, nobody was there. So they think that this was a sighting of the bloody bride. And I'm like, for this, it's also like the woman in white stories that we always get. I swear, it's like they're always on their way to their wedding or they're always on their way to run away with their loved one.
You can't just be like a normal day.
This is true.
Like, you can't just be like, well, she was going to get milk and she crashed. It's like, it needs to be that extra layer of tragic.
True.
She was running off to meet her lover because her parents said no or something, along those lines. But
now, this last one is said to be tied to a true story that is documented. This last one is Siren Bridge. So it says many years ago, a family was driving over the Siren Bridge when the car went through the guardrails somehow and into the water below, resulting in everyone drowning in the car. But many motorists who have driven through the area report hearing a child's voice over the radio saying, and this is so sad, they can hear him saying, "Mommy, help me, I can't get out."
Oh no.
And it is unknown where the voice originates from, but obviously it scares the shit out of people who drive through this area. To this day, people have reported hearing echoes from the family, and some have reported hearing screams for help. Others say that you can hear that child's voice on the radio, even through like a normal car. So not even like a CB radio, which is scary.
Oh.
Yes. All right, y'all. Well, that is going to go ahead and wrap us up for today. We hope you enjoyed this installment of State Urban Legends. If you have a request for our next state, be sure to let us know on socials, and we will go ahead and sign off and see you back here on Sunday. Bye, guys.
Toodles.